So, UMX Gaming, they had the compound. They came in as sort of the first circle. They took the win. They just came out the compound and that was it. Yeah, easy enough. They take the compound, they win the game. That's how you do it, guys. That's how you play competitive
Go to
PUBG.
zone, get zone, kill, win. Easy as that. That's the strat.
Yeah, essentially. But no, a solid game. Really, really well played. 5 kills for them. So they probably put themselves up, I want to say, towards the fifth kind of place around there.
I think we see that. But one thing that was interesting about that game is both our top 2 teams had a poor game. We did see a couple kills for Game Frame, but No Tag and Game Frame both went out. I think it was literally right next to each other, 19th and 18th. So an opportunity for the teams behind them to catch up now.
Yeah. 100% exactly. They I feel like they need to sort of change something about their approach plan, because I mean, it was the same circle. Surely they, if they do the same thing twice and it doesn't work out, then you know.
I mean, it did work out for Game Frame in Game 2, but the fact that they couldn't get to that central compound. But we see here are the scores for Game 9. UMX really pulling ahead just in that single game leaderboard. But back to Lucid having another good game.
Solid stuff from back to Lucid. We've seen them in the first game, second game as well. They did pretty well there, and again in this game just here. Solid work. French and Barlos, they've kind of essentially made themselves known. They went onto that hill in the other game, and they did it again this time, and it worked out slightly better, I feel. Game Frame though, up on top, they're still joints in second, kind of. I mean, they have more kills, so the what's the word for it? Tiebreaker, that's the one. It just skipped my mind. The tiebreaker comes in and puts them up top there, but
37 kills in 9 games. It's ludicrous.
Yeah, that's an impressive feat there, for sure. And No Tag Team, the placement points are absolutely insane, to be fair. Like their consistency to get to the top 8, top, I guess, 12, to get any points is really impressive, to be fair. So
we've seen them. A lot of those placement points have come from a small amount of those games, because they've got 3 wins now, I think, so because they won 2 in Sanhok and they've won 1 now in Miramar. So 30 of those 38 points come from a third of the games. Yeah,
exactly. Game 4 though of day 2 on Miramar, and the playing path is rough. What is that? Ugh. Ooh. That's a yikes.
That is, to put it, something you don't like to see.
No, that's definitely not something you like to see. That's for sure.
Not on the list.
But yeah, from Torre Ahumada all the way kind of straight south in between Los Llanos and Puerto Parejo, and I want to say there's not going to be anyone on the western side just yet.
And you have to expect that there's going to be a lot of teams going to Leones, because that is one of the places that you can share with a lot of teams. So in this sort of situation where you can't go towards Monty, you maybe can get to Chumacero if you find a vehicle, but those teams that were dropping around El Pozo as well, they're sort of going to be forced into that sort of area.
Ewan, he's taken a fight early. Krasuka as well. He's got M16. He's got a gun pretty swiftly. Is he going to chase this? He's got 2 players here. Krasuka only has a smoke, and Horseman has a nade. Oh, there we go. M16 comes out as well.
It looks like Ewing's just going to sit on this roof, try and catch out the player that overextends a little bit. And Krasuka's going for the peak, but he has the same gun, so it's pretty much one headshot because no one has a helmet.
Yeah, exactly. He's just picked up a nade. I wonder if he's going to use it. Yeah, there we go. Pulls up the nade. Krasuka unfortunately opened the door for him, but that nade misses. Okay, fair enough though. The double peak comes in from Horseman and Krasuka, and the nade as well. We'll see if
they got some tags as well now, so I think one more bullet to the chest will do it. Oh, what a nade! Horseman dunks him, and that's going to be Ewing down, and Magebane's really not in a position to help. But we're going to see a different circle, by the way. It's not El Pozo for once, not Monte Nuevo. We're going down to Puerto Parejo.
Finally, a southeastern circle. Obviously, I mean the plane path was good for it. So, but nonetheless, UMX they're in a pretty solid spot. Actually, they've chosen a really solid town to loot Puerto Parejo.
Sometimes the circle comes your way.
Yeah.
And it's one of those nights for UMX, and they need to capitalize on that. They need to get themselves in a good position, phase 1. I'm not sure where I'd like to go. I often like to go sort of just to the south of Julius, the sort of the warehouse position, but I don't think it works that well in duos, just because it's really hard to protect all your angles.
100%. Yeah, I mean, if you have 2 warehouses there, you can only really hold one of them. I feel like because it's so that they're so large.
Yeah, you basically I think you just commit to the brick building, and it just sort of allow pull-ups to happen on the south.
Yeah,
And then you just have to try and take the gunfight and win it.
But one player down and 63 remaining to go. Where is Ewan's teammate? Major? Okay, no, he's just north of Impala. He's looting himself some gear up there. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about the contest there from Ewan. I mean, he knows there's 2 players there. It's just like I'm just not quite sure what the thought process was.
If I'm right, I'm pretty sure they have been dropping there the whole night, right? So it's just one of those situations where someone else, because of the nature of that plane, someone else just decided, we'll go for it as 2. They're going to have awful loot because they're 2 in that compound, but they sort of got forced by the plane, and Ewan just got a bit unlucky.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think they're trying to find a vehicle as well, so we'll see if they can find one and make their way towards some more loot or something. Shots coming out from Ilias as well onto Andre. More shots. Oh, and that comes in from Schlepping onto Pudex. That's a rotational kill if I've seen one. Oh, M24 as well. I like that. That's some solid gear there he's got.
It's not the combo I like, if I'm honest.
No,
I'm not a 7.62 person.
Okay. I mean, I don't think many are, honestly, actually.
I think the meta, right? Obviously, the SLR is quite popular, but I mean, the Mini is so fun.
Yeah,
that is an ADR farmer.
Yeah, it's a Mini M4 meta still. They even tried to nerf the ARs, but it's still an M4 meta. I mean, the
Vector does have a sort of situational strengths now, which it didn't have in the past, and especially once you get to Erangel and Senok, the Vector becomes really good. But beyond that, I think on Miramar, yes, SLR was good. So it's sort of the M4 Mini SLR meta, I would put it, rather than just M4 Mini. But,
yeah, true. I mean, every time I've seen some damage stats or seen some knock stats or whatever, it's always been Mini and then M4 and then I think either SLR. And there is a crate. Thank you very much, random man on your screen. That's okay. No worries.
He even nodded to you. He acknowledged you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What a
it's
nice
like
man.
he knows. Wow. Okay. So Andre does get the crate there. He's taking some shots from No Tag Team, and so is Horseman. Horseman taking some shots from Magsters here. They've sort of put up on this mini little compound. And
one of the UMX players actually went down as they tried to go for a compound sort of just to the west of Paraiso, but Beamy had beaten him to it. And I spoke about how they needed to capitalize on those circles when they did get them. And I mean, that's pretty much the opposite of capitalizing.
Yeah, lack of info probably, or essentially just bad timing, it seems. But Hezbollah is on his own now.
It's an unfair word to use, but it's sort of a bit of, not necessarily arrogance, but that kind of thing where you just assume that it's going to be clear.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, and because of that, they do lose scavs. But Hezbollah can still clutch up. He is still in a circle.
Yeah,
if you can get somewhere, there is still a potential for him to have a decent game. You
are right. But Andre from Valiente, he's got some company. Vasco spotted out some of that L gig along with T-Bone. They're trying to make a rotation. Looks like Ghost Star's been caught up in a little ditch there and can't get his vehicle out. Sloppy does go down. Meanwhile, rotation's coming in.
We see already that the area around, like between Leones and Impala, is getting so congested with all those teams because people hate to rotate through cities. So everyone sort of comes in through that area where we see Valiente or tries to make that big south rotation. And because of the plane, everyone was on the eastern side of the map. So they're all trying to funnel through this one tiny position. And that's why we're seeing so many knocks and so many kills early on.
Yeah, especially in this area as well, towards the gas station, just north of where PD and Tripson are. It's such a hectic area on these kind of circles, especially when the plane path was like that. And I think UMX was the only one that was actually that far south. So
I think we saw Chico and Beamy drop to their west, which is why they had that sort of early engagement. But apart from that, everyone has had to rotate through this tiny little gap.
Exactly. But you speak of rotating through towns, and like everyone's scared of it. But at the same time, like it's time and time again, it is free. It's always
it's normally the correct thing to do.
Yeah,
people are so terrified of driving through and finding a team looting late, and if that does happen, like maybe you do it twice, and it works one time, and then it doesn't work the other time, and there's nothing you can do about it if it doesn't work. You will be dead.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Teams are sort of. I can understand why you'd want to go around the south here instead of go through lanes, because you know that should be free based on the plane. So all these teams that we see sort of towards the northwest driving around should come below the city, but players like Tekers should just go straight through.
Yeah, 100%. He is. Is he zone? No, he might be on his own. I think.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Ab went down. Was it? Yeah. Ab went down quite early.
Yeah. So unfortunate. It makes sense that you sort of you send it into Los Leones. Just make sure you're safe for that first rotation, and then just try and make your way out of there.
Especially as a solo.
Yeah.
Like there's so much hard cover that as long as you don't get spotted, you can work your way pretty much dead center here because the center of the map is just on the edge of Leones.
Yeah, exactly. Buster's here on your screen. I quite like his M24 skin, not gonna lie. But he's got some friends. Luke over the road. Plus you've got I've lost it now. It was actually that was Buster's, and then you've got Cheese's teammate from the
Everyone is there.
Yeah. Essentially,
like 4 teams.
Everybody is around there essentially. Elgid coming in as well, just towards their west. And Robbins, looks like he's scouting something.
Yeah, his teammate Vanti's got stuck between the FBI players. Ferrari Breach. Is that Ferrari? No, it's not Ferrari Breach.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah, I think it is
Ferrari
actually.
Breach?
Yeah, I'm not sure why their tag is FBI, but it is Ferrari. I'm pretty sure. Although maybe it's not in this tournament. I don't know.
I have no idea.
The logo is Ferrari Breach's logo.
Yeah.
Though.
That's why I saw the logo as like Ferrari Breach, and I see FBI. Am I wrong?
Yeah, that was their tag for quite a while, I think. Yeah. Busters though, he's making a move. I like to see it. It's nice to see some sort of aggression. He's currently burning his house down.
The circle's gone far off, and they basically have to commit to this. This is their only opportunity of points. They're all committing to it, but Busters is going to be the one that wins out the 1v1. There's a free flush as well, but we're seeing a lot of people dying now because the circle has shifted south. And all those teams that committed to the area east of Leones now have to funnel through what is really about a 100-meter gap.
Yeah, exactly. We did see game frame go down just previously, so they can't contend really for much in this game anymore. Trying to run away and pick up the remnants of this game, hopefully.
But once we switch over to the map, you can see just how much of this circle is empty.
Yeah.
Literally 70, maybe even 80% of this zone is just clear. Because all of these teams, because of the plane path, everyone funneled into that eastern side, and the circle's just gone, nah.
Yeah.
It's just gone. And all these teams making that late rotation now are in a really good position to try and get dead center, but they're all running into each other, and there's like a chain of gunfights going on along this western edge.
Yeah, exactly. You got Mackendorf and Himmanen up against the Ravens here. Ravens have been doing some good work lately, but let's see if they can overthrow the KK team. Looks like they're just going to run away, though. Okay, so, I mean, fair enough. And, yeah, I mean, Vanti does go down as well. That's further towards their west. Emil is knocked, and looks like Portello's going to get out of there towards the circle. But yeah, I mean...
He's going to get out. He's going to find out that he can literally get to the middle of the map uncontested.
Yeah.
Which is always fun. That is the kind of rotation that you want.
Yeah, that's...
You just drive in, and you're just there. But does that hill, middle of the map, also have a little bit of a lull here? Does that count as unplayable?
I think the hill just east of Los Leones, like on the edge, I think does.
Yeah, but so the one to the south doesn't.
I can't.
I mean, you can play on it. So, but I'm always curious whether the tunnel underneath messes with the circle algorithm.
Maybe. Yeah, you could be right.
Because I know it doesn't like to end on an area where you can go up and down. I mean, it does do it in Shelter occasionally on a angle, but it tends to shift away from it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a circle go towards the extremities of this map, perhaps towards that south coast, or maybe even a little sneaky shift into Leones.
Yeah, I mean, I like to see it. That'd be pretty fun, I think.
I mean, given all these teams on the east, it would be absolute chaos as they all try to go through that one road because of the unplayable hill. And they'd basically just have to go through one tiny gap. They've already been funneled into this 100-meter gap. They'd be funneled into a 10-meter gap.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. No tag team does go out, though. That is O'Connell down and out. Tremi with that one. And,
with them and game frame already out. So, like last game, the two top teams having a poor game. And it means that, obviously, because we're playing for money in this as well, all those teams that are sort of in the 3rd to 5th bracket have an opportunity to catch up and maybe to overtake them.
Yeah, exactly. Circle has shifted just over towards the northeast there. So Billingham and Urzeth are pretty sort of close towards the center. They're looking good. Lucas Nivas as well. They're looking pretty solid. But yeah, everyone on that side, on that sort of that northeastern side, are fine now. There's no rotation to be made.
I think the game felt a little bit bad about that really awkward south shift. It was like, yeah, go on then. And it has walked back over towards them. And for now, all those teams, despite the fact that they're all super close, should be okay. But all these Western teams, they can still get in quite deep into the circle just because of those hills that no one's playing right now.
Yeah, we see Tremi spotted out. Luke, they've got him sort of surrounded. Nifo and Tremi, they're just trying to get this free point essentially. And
I like this reposition onto the ridge. The fact that there's no utility on the Vokmok, I presume it is, means that they basically just have to push over this ridge, and maybe Luke can get the 1v2.
Yeah, Tremi pushing around the side. Yeah, he spotted him. Doesn't get the kill though. 14 HP on Tremi. Oh no, Luke gets it and then gets taken out by Andre.
Where was that from?
That was from southwest with an Orm. That's a big old gun.
It looks like they're going to push and try and clear out the second team as well. That nade.
That's
no, it's not.
No, that's a very apprehensive name. Or something?
Speculative.
Yes, yeah. Not quite sure about that one, but Andre full level 3 and an Orm. He does take out the two players there that try to rotate in, and they're in a pretty free side themselves. To be fair, on the north, they're they've got about, I want to say, a 300-meter sort of gap until they find the next team in front of them.
Yeah, they can sort of sneak underneath, sort of on the west side of Maro and Tekers as well, because there's a little bit of a valley that they can play through, so they can progress a little bit. But once they get to the plateau, that
okay, sure.
I would assume he crashed.
Yeah,
he was driven into the water and died. Back to the conversation I was having, that plateau to the south of them is going to become really rough if they have to work through it. If Valiente have to come south.
Yeah, exactly. You've got only one team in Los Leones. They've made their way through, but not exactly through altogether. You've got Barlos and Frenchie as the gatekeepers
nice
of
crate.
Los Leones. Yeah, that's a solid crate, and he's got it. Yep, he's got that one. So
no, he didn't pick it up.
Oh, okay. So wait,
he kept the SLR
as well.
SLR on his, it was an Orm in the crate, and he kept his SLR.
Oh,
so I presume he just doesn't like playing bolt actions.
Yeah.
I always feel
Not
like
fun.
the Orm is the gun you just... Oh, the Orm and the MK are the guns you just pick up.
Yeah, there's no question. You pick it up. Like, Marco, come on, what are you doing? Sort it out, mate.
Disappointed.
Yeah, I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed, you know. Circle, though, does shift slightly towards Puerto Prieto. I mean, I guess this was the full circle.
In
so
Puerto Prieto,
yeah, exactly. So full circle does shift away from Los Llanos, the mountains around it.
Yeah, it gets forced away from Barlos and Frenchie. And now we're going to have to work towards the plateau I was talking about, the Valiente we're going to struggle with. And now there's like 3 duos that have to work through this completely open region of the map.
Yeah, maybe they have a vehicle. I mean, if they've gotten up to that point, then they might do just these little dips here. I'm quite fond of these areas that French and Barlos have, because they have lots of information on the circle. On I guess
they can see
towards the center circle. Yeah,
purely because they're on foot, it becomes really difficult to make any push, because Billum and Ursdeath can see to the south. To an extent, Lucrux can see to the north if they try and stay high. So it becomes a little bit rough. They should be able to get to this shack at least, and maybe they're just going to stay there for now. But it looks like Frenchie's been spotted.
Yeah, shots coming in from Billum in the compound there. Ravens, though, on your screen. Here we go. The big Orm. This guy picture, I like this guy. Andre, you're cool, all right? Pick up the Orm.
You can live.
Yes, you can live. I mean, well, maybe they will. Maybe they'll win the game because they picked up the Orm.
The circle's just going to hard shift north like 4 times.
Yeah, and then
he's going to get 10 kills with the Orm.
Yeah, it's going to shift actually outside the white. It's going to go back up.
He's got that thing you get in what's it called? The circle magnet.
Yeah. The circle, whatever it's called, the magnet. Yeah, what's called that?
Circle magnet.
Just yoinks over. But
the problem now for Valiente is, as I was talking about that plateau, there is no cover whatsoever. So I think they need to go east, take this fight versus Mara and Meisters, and that's sort of their only way into the circle. But Ursdeath has spotted them now already, and that's going to be a tough one. And now Meisters has seen them as well, so
yeah,
that's going to be super awkward.
And 24 in hand, trying to get the tags onto Valiente as they push in. And,
the big green gun could be the win condition here. If he can get initial knock onto Meisters, as long as Maro doesn't land this nade. No, he's nading the shack.
Oh, he's going for the right side of the shack. It's close, though. It was close. Manchester is now pushing out towards his teammate Maro, so they're grouping up here. And, I mean, a perfectly placed nade. No, that's not perfectly placed at all. I think he thinks that there's someone in here, to be honest with you.
Well, the nade is perfectly placed if that was the position he was trying to play. So.
Yeah, which I think it was, actually.
So maybe he was just trying to scare people.
Possibly.
But he's a pacifist. Doesn't want to do any damage.
With an orm. Pacifist with an orm. That makes...
It's a deterrent.
Yeah, true. It makes everyone go away, or they want the gun and they just want to kill him. Either way, Manchester wants to kill them as well. Same with Mara, and they're pushing up pretty aggressively. They want to get these guys out the way. Oh, he does get the knock, actually. Andre with the orm. And, oh, my lord.
Immediately gets traded. So the 1v1 now on that side. But meanwhile, the centre of the map is getting messy. We've got 3 teams within about 5 meters of each other. And Lucrux has got the initial knock onto Barlos, but it actually gets stolen by Beamy.
That's a big yoink there. Lucrux trying to confirm his kill, doesn't quite get it.
Nabbed.
Yeah, absolutely nabbed.
Okay. Oh, he's going to land.
There we go.
Lovely from Justin. They do get the trade eventually. He will be able to get into the circle, but he's solo. 1 bullet from Billum will take him down.
I like the fact that he also dropped his level 3 helmet for his teammate as well, mid kind of fight, and he picked it up.
Almost actually got him killed. Yeah, he was tabbed to try and pick it up, and he nearly got sprayed down while he was doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So
just about worked out in the end.
Yeah, close call, but nonetheless he does come through, and the circle does shift actually up to Billum and Ursdeath. So they're looking pretty good on their plateau there, but they've got one little snake in Jesters, which I'm pretty sure they know where he is anyway. Meanwhile, Magebane getting pushed upon. Himonen and Makandark have got some work to do. Yeah, well, I mean, that's just that done. Magebane picks up one.
Saved Magebane a little bit. As Makandark tried to get the revenge on the knock onto Manum, but it didn't quite come through. But back to Lucid, once again having a decent game. They've already got a fair few kills. And they're not in the worst position. Ravens are in a good spot to take him out. And actually, Sicario gets the initial knock onto Lucrux. So now I think Ivers just has to back off. He has this sort of dip that he can survive in. But if Ravens try and aggress, maybe they can take him out. But I'm not sure they'd want to, given the pressure coming in from Beamy to the south.
Yeah, there's also some pressure coming from the northern side as well. You've got Ursdeath was taking some pot shots at Ivers as he peeked over. But yeah, looks like he's going to just prone out. I mean, I think they've been proning there for quite some time. So he's just going to go back to his usual ways and sit there and look at that sun.
Happy sun.
Happy sun. Marco, the man who didn't take the orm. We'll see if he needs it here. But missing it, yeah. I guess he got the knock, and then AKS trying to just cover as his teammate heals up. Marco slowly sneaking up.
The sneaky beaky push, but it's going to be a bit rough. Those crates are sort of, like you can see him, but he can't do anything about it. But he can actually work all the way along this wall. But now the push is coming out, wants the full health, but they go 1 by 1. And Marco, is he going to get the 1v2? Yes, he is. And he's just about going to survive on 5 HP, but 1 more bullet will take him down. And Sicario spotted him. There he goes. Lovely. He secures 2 points, but not quite getting into the placements. But still a nice 1v2. I'm not. They took so long to get the first aid off, and then just ran 1 by 1.
Yeah, that was very
a little bit odd,
strange. I'm not exactly sure if they knew exactly where he was, because he did sneak up, and I don't think they really knew where he might be after that. So unlucky, but well played by Marco.
Ravens did aggress in the end towards Ivers, and they took him down, but they did get knocked in the process. And Magebane now is going to commit to the gunfight, which we are watching Pelters. He actually gets the kill, so Ravens did go out in the end.
Ooh, wow, nice work by Magebane. Pelters as well, taking out Kobe there on his south side.
All of a sudden, we're down to 9 teams. Make that 8 as Beamy takes down Magebane. And suddenly, that south side, we were talking about how messy it was, but suddenly there's only really 1 duo left, and it looks like Beamy should go down in short order. This nade might be perfect.
It looks good. Oh no, okay. Too long cooked.
Too much.
Yeah. It was overdone.
Burnt.
This one might be good though. Bounces just past. Oh. There we go. Beamy taken down. Bolden with the Kobe there.
That was a 3-pointer.
Exactly. So good with his nades there. Hesper though. Hesper's in a good spot. I mean, he was the one that lost his teammate.
Yeah, he lost his teammate literally at the start of the game. And we were talking about how UMX needed to capitalize on getting the zones. And we saw them lose their initial player. And Hesper, I don't want to call it a clutch because he's literally walked about 200 meters. But the fact that he's still alive, the fact that he's not gone into those gunfights and he lost his life means that they have salvaged. I mean, it could have been a really good game if they stayed 2 up, but it's still going to be a pretty decent one.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this is placement points and then maybe a kill or 2 possibly, but apart from that, I mean, it's a decent salvage, that's for sure.
Also, the M47 duo have literally been chasing the circle the entire game.
Oh wow!
We saw them like I think they were like a kilometre north of Impala in the blue zone taking gunfights. And from there, they worked all the way down south and now finding themselves in the top 7. And we saw the top 2 teams go out very early. And I think M47 are 4th or 5th coming into this. So if they can win this game, there's a potential they could be the top team coming out of this.
100%. T-Bone taking some shots at Urzdeth as he makes some cover of his own on that rock there. But some decent utility. Only 53 bullets to spare as well on the 7.62. He has got a scar though, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, but this circle is very empty on the western side, really. All these teams were sort of on the western side. We saw a lot of gunfights happening. We saw Ravens make that aggression. That didn't quite work out. They got the kill onto Iris and they got taken out. And then the player that took them out got taken out. And then the player that took out him got taken out. And suddenly there was just no one left in that southwest side. And Quick Math have worked towards east as well. So it's a massive empty spot. Just have seen him? No, the smoke just about protecting Billum. But it's very weird to see how congested it is. And also, if the circle does go away, we're going to have this big gunfight with like probably 4 or 5 teams going out.
Exactly. This black smoke from the blown up vehicle is really messing with Jester's line of sight here. I think he had an angle, but just didn't quite see him through the black smoke there. But yeah, he's just going to chill out, rest on his laurels, and wait for the next circle to come in, which it will do in a few seconds.
3 to be precise.
Exactly.
Let me see it. And it is going to go sort of west, a tiny bit. It's more west than east.
Actually, that's centre, to be honest with you. That's fairly centre.
It's more west than east.
Oh, you are right, yes. Yeah, centrally southwest.
Yeah, so we're gonna see all these eastern teams have to sort of collapse. Quick Math have that little shack on the south side, so they should be good. But we're looking at Krasuka, Horseman, Sunker, probably the M47 duo, all have to work towards that tiny ridge on the northeast.
Shots coming up. Vascu spots out. I mean, this is the player that they've been shooting at for quite some time, and they know he's there. They also know that Billum is just behind his vehicle. Angle comes in. The taps come out. There we go. Team gets the knock. So they know that there's only one more player left in Urzdeth behind that vehicle rock formation.
But they are going to be forced to come south towards Horseman and Krasuka. And if Horseman can get the drop on T-Bone, then there's a big potential for them to win out this gunfight.
Yeah, 3 kills on Horseman there. He's trying to sneak up.
He's
actually spotted him. Wow. Okay.
Sunker, meanwhile, from the middle of the map, takes the kill. He should be able to get the flush, but he's not actually going to commit to it. That might mean Ballin can come and steal it. Exactly. But T-Bone's going to run straight onto Krasuka here, and Vascu needs to get the trade. He is going to get it perfectly. Nice. So Sunker, meanwhile, helps out. Can Sunker get the kill onto Vascu? He's going to go for the flush. Almost reveals his head in the process, but actually gets the 1v2. Puts down Vascu.
Wow.
Literally, he put down the dogs.
Yeah, literally. I mean, finish versus finish, it seems, and they come out on top.
Wins.
Yeah.
And T-Bone doesn't even get the kill onto Billum, who calls into the open and Peltage nabs. So, not quite the game M47 hope they could have. They still, I mean, top 5 still pretty good. They had like 4 or 5 kills, so still going to be a lot of points, still catching up to those top 2 teams. But I think a win would have put them top.
Exactly. There's so much space on this western side, as you said previously. Yeah, Jester is there's no way in hell. Okay, yeah. So he goes down, passes with that one. 5 kills. Yeah, 5 kills for I guess quick math or headshots or only headshots.
No, I mean that wasn't a headshot. So
no, I think they're lying to us.
Yeah,
I'm actually kind of offended by it.
No, maybe it's hits, not headshots.
Yeah, only.
He did hit every shot.
Only hit shots.
Yeah,
yeah, that works. This is a gun you don't want to have. That's for sure. I mean, well, to be fair, in this kind of terrain, possibly.
No.
Okay, never mind. You don't want that gun. That's for sure.
Literally, the Vector has higher damage per second at close range than that gun. Because the shotgun doesn't one-shot level 2 chest. So you're actually better having an AR or an SMG at close range than having the shotgun, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. No?
Yeah, no.
No, it doesn't make that much sense at all, to be honest with you. But only hit shots. They're trying to push themselves towards the white. Some shots come out over towards Erzdeath, and Sunker's just below them. He's sunken into the ground. In terms of the
that'd be a good way
prone.
to just not die, wouldn't it? You just sink into the ground because there was absolutely nothing you could do to counter that. It'd be a really good strat.
Yeah,
I might have to try that sometime.
Yeah. That's a solid idea to
the big sink.
Yeah. Exactly. I like the fact that Erzdeath is he's just peeking for information, not exactly committing to any kind of fight at all, and it makes sense because he doesn't have to move, and he doesn't want to challenge a two-man team.
But there is that sort of potential that because there's two of them, if they both land a headshot at the same time, then maybe he could go out in third place rather than second. But I like the confidence to go for that information. He needs to know where they are if he wants to win the game. So I think it's a play where you either come third or you come first in that situation.
Exactly. Sunken trying to make something happen here. He's
out from his hidey hole.
Yeah, he's not sunken anymore. I think he hears the players just towards his south, and
the problem is he has no utility whatsoever. There's no smokes to protect his north when he tries to make a push. There's no grenades to get that initial engagement, so he can't really do anything. But he does have the little valley that he can play that gets him the closest towards the center of the circle of the teams.
Yeah. Some nades come out. Ball in. He thinks he knows where he is, but some shots come out as well. Sunker's down to low health.
I think he only has bandages as well, so even the healing becomes quite difficult.
I felt like he had 3 first aids and 26 bandages. I'm not quite sure exactly. But
no, this is Erzdeath.
Yeah. So nades come out. That's overshot a bit. I don't think he was aiming for Sunker really. He's trying to get the duo over his head.
And I think if Sunker just chills here,
no, never mind. Erzdeath coming out with the kill there. Sunker. So of 2v1. Erzdeath, he's behind a crate. Was that a crate that was there all the time, or?
That was the shotgun crate, wasn't it?
Oh, of course, yeah. So, he's got himself
which is not picked up.
Full level 3. No, I mean, it makes sense. Shots coming out. Ball in. Tags him down to about 40 HP. He's not even healing. Like, Erzdeath wants a surprise peek here.
Get the initial knock. He does get it. Now, potentially, he can get that heal off and then commit to the 1v1 with that level 3. You have to say he's at an advantage, but I think Peltage, did he see him? No, the 3x is actually protecting Erzdeath.
Wow. Spray comes out. Oh, there we go. He does get it. Erzdeath with the win there. Trollers coming out on top. 3 kills.
All at the end there. Literally the last 3 kills of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
The only kills they got. But it works out. 13 points. You love in life.
Yeah, solid stuff. Billum obviously with 0. They had that compound just I think it was just, I want to say, east of Los Llanos and the mountains there.
Plateau,
yeah, exactly. And they kind of had that compound for most of the time there. So I think, to have that circle sort of shift that way and then come out on top when your teammate goes down on that rotation out of the compound, and to win it as well is solid stuff.
We saw a lot of Kobe's this game.
We did, yeah. We did see a lot of nades coming out. And
one thing I have to highlight though, EMEA 7th place, 0 kills. Given how nice the circle was for them, the fact that they were, yes, they got a couple points, but this game really could have been massive for them, and it didn't quite work out.
No, yeah, they had the loot spot of Puerto Parejo, and there just wasn't anything really to come of it essentially. But again, Jess is getting quite a few kills. Sorry, Valiente getting quite a few kills in 6th. So 4th place for them as well. Not too bad.
And also Sunker with the 5 kills in his own. Conker had a 2-point week last week. And in 2 games now, I think they've got double digits in both games. So they're really sort of working their way back up the leaderboard. They might even be in the top half now.
Yeah, that's also true. But nonetheless, we are going to go on a short little break here. So we're back for the next game coming up. See you later.